Tooting Market. No to ethnic cleansing in Tooting Market. No to ethnic cleansing in Tooting Market. No to ethnic cleansing in Tooting Market.
What they're saying there is no to ethnic cleansing in Tooting Market. No to ethnic cleansing in Tooting Market.
All right.
No to ethnic cleansing in Tooting Market. Now, what has happened? And this message has been coming to me from this morning with a video. I don't have the right to show the video, so I'm not going to do it because a couple of times I take up my big self showing video, showing dub plate with Jamaican politics, and the man just copyright.
Strike you.
I didn't get lawyers to fight YouTube. As I say, I was just joking, man. You know. But there's an incident happening in Tooting there in the market whereby there's a guy named Hugh Crawford. I think he's the brother of Miles Crawford, Carl Crawford. And there's another guy who has this shop there with fish. And apparently, police went there and raided them, and went to their home as well. One of them took up his partner money to say that they were having some drugs, which they believed that they were, and they said also they were successful at it. And as a result of that, there's a big hoo-ha about it. And I think they were supposed to be going today. So that the second movie is ethnic cleansing and gentrification. I don't know if anybody saw anything about it. I don't have the full facts. I was trying to get somebody to come on, but I didn't.
I live in Tooting. Yeah. I live in Tooting. Well, I stay in Tooting predominantly, and I walk in the market regularly because it is my local market, and there is a change of environment. You don't see the same level of blacks and other people selling their goods how they would. It's changed completely. I mean, I don't know what to say. Do I like it? I somewhat like it, but it's not good for the livelihood of people who's been there and made the market what it is. But do I still eat from the shops that are there now? I do. Do I still buy drinks and whatever? I do, but it's not fair. So I do, just to let you know, if there's a witness, I've seen it. Yes, it has changed. It's been gentrified. And it's quite shocking actually when you walk into the market how changed it is. You would never believe it's the same Tooting market up until a year ago actually. So this change is pretty new, maybe a year and a half ago.
David, when we were in Brixton recently, when he came to London, and we walked through briefly in Brixton, that wasn't the normal Brixton, which looked like many years ago as well. Especially in that section there in the market.
Yeah. So, I'm led to believe that at least in terms of the marketplace, there is. I have to be fact checked on this, but that there's written into the.
David, sorry. We all marvel that you have this boombox and this lovely, but we're not hearing you. You need to.
I think because you kicked me out. That's why you kicked me out, and now the mic doesn't work. Thanks, okay. Everyone.
Yeah, bring it. Oh, who's gone? Keisha went and come back. Okay, right.
Is it better now? Can you hear me?
Yeah, much better. Yeah.
What I was saying is, I think Brixton Market has written into its laws that there has to be a degree of mixture of cultures within the facility itself. I guess that's dissimilar to the way that Tooting has its current setup and practice. Gentrification obviously occurs in all places potentially, and I don't particularly agree with that. And in regards to this particular case, I think we need more facts. If these guys are being kicked out for reasons that are not lawful, then I would say that some people will have to lawyer up quite highly, because I think there'll be a community backing to help these guys out. But obviously, we don't know the full facts of the case. We don't know why it is that they're being moved on, and we don't know whether it is that there's been any particular illegalities on their behalf. So I can't really comment on that fact. But what I can comment on is the fact that if there is some foul play at hand to try and underhand them so they can get them moved out, then I think the lawyers will definitely have a field day in trying to sort of fight their case on their behalf. And maybe that's fruitful for the people who want to get them out. But I think the other thing is that the community can easily action this. They can choose where they want to shop, they can choose where they want to go, and they can support other places if they so feel. But the only issue with that is obviously there are local people within the Tooting Market that have acted accordingly and are still wanting to work and have their livelihoods.
Exactly what I would.
So it's a real problem. It's a catch-22.
Yeah.
However, if you do, I guess, shop at these establishments that have been kicked out, you continue to support them if you can. If there's,
Keisha wasn't kicked out. They said because they were kicked out. Keisha wasn't kicked out.
I don't know what happened there.
She's hiding.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my feeling that we need to get more information, as you quite rightly said at the top of this particular. We need to find out what's happened and why it is that the police were called to the establishment, and what grounds that occurred. We just need to fact finding. That's what needs to occur. I'm not going to be on either camp at the moment, but I don't agree with gentrification. Definitely don't.
Yeah, and someone sent me this article in the Guardian. It's a petition to save a Jamaican owned food business in Tooting Market that's earned more than 5,000 signatures in a day after the owner was served an eviction notice. I believe it was today they were supposed to be evicted. According to the petition, the owner of the Lone Fisherman was served a 3-day eviction notice following a police raid which took place last weekend. Last Saturday evening, September 5th, officers executed 2 search warrants in Tooting Market, which were later described as having been successful in a tweet from Tooting Police local station, police team. But the petition insists that nothing illegal was found at the Lone Fisherman, claiming that the eviction came as a result of the police raid. And so there's a petition going around. And as I said, I'm a person who strongly believes that these things need to be addressed. But I personally love to get the facts. I love to get more information because we don't know. We only, they're showing Jamaica the 2 sides of the story. But it is something I believe needs to be flagged up. But one of the things that I thought when I saw it there, and I said 2 things. One, there are these 2 guys, and we're coming out of the COVID bit, and therefore they may not have, let's say, money to their disposal, not very much. And what if something unjust happened to someone? Where can they go to? When we talk about an injunction, my first thing was that there needs to be an injunction. Is there a resource pool within the Black community, for argument's sake, where people can go to? And if there's not a resource pool, where can they go to instantly? Should you start to a GoFundMe immediately? There should be some sort of resource pool where certain criteria is fit. And therefore they can go there and say, listen, but not just for everybody to just go to there because they're having some hardship. But in key things like this that maybe have some racial undertone, gentrification undertone, discrimination undertone. So I'm flagging up these particular issues there, but this can only work properly when we get the facts. But I wanted to really flag this up as something that we need to be aware of, because I believe there could be an issue. Any thoughts? And there's a lot of thoughts here actually on the slide here, but keep talking about. Right?
I think that the points that you raised there, we don't know that that there won't be that support offered to these folks if in the full face of fact they've done nothing wrong. The community can continue, and obviously in that video that you played just then, the unified voice, both black, white, were unified in that voice. So I think we just have to let the facts come out. I think when it comes to early stories like this, it's easy to pass comment and say, "Oh, this is, this or this is that." I'd like to hear the full facts. I want to hear. I mean, because obviously the police, it looked like there was a tweet that came out to say there was a successful raid that occurred, etc., etc. We want just the full facts, and then we can pass commentary. But again, from a gentrification point of view, I'm not particularly sold on that being a great thing, moving people out like that.
Keisha, your thoughts, even though not just to say that we are commenting on this issue, just for the record.
I think I'd rather get the facts first before I could actually comment. I'm not sure why the use of ethnic cleansing is used though, rather than gentrification, because clearly when we think about ethnic cleansing, I can't help but think about what's happening in the developing countries, certain countries. So I am not quite sure why that is used in the UK but other than that, clearly I'll need to get some more information on it. Still waiting for my research assistant to send me that information.
So therefore, are we saying in a sense that some of these things and the words which are used at times are there to sort of bring forth an alarm bell.
Yes, because if you use the concept ethnic cleansing, and we all know what ethnic cleansing means, is of course, wiping out of a particular race or ethnicity or an ethnic group, that is rather extreme if that's what's happening in Tooting. So I really don't think that's what's happening, because I'm sure that would probably make mainstream news, and I probably then would have heard about it. If it's gentrification, then clearly we know that's been happening in London for quite a few, for a long time now. You have Brixton now, Peckham, quite a lot of places within London experience gentrification. But when you use the concept ethnic cleansing, we're entering into a different territory.
Well, it's emotive language. I mean, from what we've been experiencing so far, they have to use a language like that, or they chose to use a language like that to get us to react and talk about it now, because somebody getting their shop closed down in the middle of lots of people losing their jobs might not strike us as the biggest deal, because I know somebody who's worked in this agency for so long and lost her job recently. So in this kind of climate where people are losing their jobs anyway, businesses are closing down anyway, there needs to be a strong emotive language used to get us to sit on the Silver Show and talk about it. And I think ethnic cleansing would have been a strong word, because like you said, it's not really what's going on, but it needs our attention. And that's probably the best way they went about, getting us to talk about it.
Well, anyway, we'll follow up on this. I spoke to a couple of persons, and we will follow up on this and get some more facts, because I always pride myself in not jumping on things just because I'm jumping on, or I don't do petitions that easily. Trust me, that's just me. I don't do demonstrations that easily. That's just me. That's my view. I can see some views going around here. James is talking, Arthur is talking. I let them communicate right there, and it's good to talk. Not that I need to bring that up there. It's important. Arthur is very passionate. James very passionate. Warren Harris came in and said there's nothing wrong with anger. We should be outraged. I believe that nothing is wrong with anger. We should be outraged. But how you channel your energy, I always say, is something else. But I'm not going to go and get angry all over the place and mash down and chant down Babylon. I rather come into my office here and strategize and say, how can I fix it? How can I liaise with David and say, let us see how we can create something so it doesn't happen? How can I touch base with Sharika? How can I get Keisha and say, strategy? I'm a strategist. That's what I believe. So my anger, you're not going to see my anger on display. I'm going to be in the backside of the desert and say, let's see how we can fix it. Let's see how we can create a community fund. Let's see if we can come into a community fund whereby these guys, when they are being unjust, we can say, listen, let's go to court. Go straight to the court now, right now. Go to the RCJ, Royal Court of Justice, get an ex parte application and get an injunction to stop those guys ASAP. That's what I would say right away. But where are you going to get the funds? Are we going to do a GoFundMe right away? Nah, we shouldn't be doing that as Black people. We should have those funds already. The Asians do it. Guys, I hear my emergency about anger. You can anger as much as possible, but I believe there's a better way. But be angry. That's my thought. I don't know. That's my view. Who want to jump in there before we close off? I'm talking about Peter Phillips and why didn't he go to the swearing ceremony?
Oh my God. I know you're trying to draw me out. Don't draw me out, Silver. Please. Please don't draw me out.